Welcome back to Rockingham. It's round 6 of the Total Quartz Ginetta GT5 Challenge, and the drivers making their way to the grid. Mike Robinson, the man on pole position, with Gary Sims alongside him at the front, both of whom have had a race win this weekend. It's Clive Richards and Ryan Ratcliffe on row 2, and Sean Hyton, who won each of the 3 races at Alton Park, lines up on the 3rd row. Will Burns with him for company. Green flag shown at the back to say that everybody is where they should be. Andy O'Brien, a man to watch out from the rear of the field. Drivers look towards the lights, which go out now. Slowish start from Robinson. Good start by Gary Sims. Clive Richards tries to go with him, and Ryan Ratcliffe in the orange and white car, who's been there or thereabouts all season, is the next in the queue. There's a spin already. Getting contact there, Lee Mole gets tagged into a spin. Everybody has missed him, but that on the run to the first corner is not something you want to really encounter. Up to the Dean hairpin. Mike Robinson has got the lead, and Clive Richards on the very inside line there goes second, and Sean Hyton brakes desperately late in the all-black car. Hyton scrabbles through and gains ground as well. Everybody out of Dean for the first time, but Mike Robinson has built a very modest gap already as Clive Richards comes back through for second place. You're looking back from Ryan Ratcliffe's car now. Behind him there, look, is Sean Hyton. Puff of tar smoke as Ratcliffe locks up, goes wide, forces Gary Sims out wide as well, and Hyton's going to get past him. Sims once again there, being squeezed out wide. He loses 2 places, rides the curb in his efforts to fight back now. Sean Hyton is right on the tail of Ratcliffe. Great battles going on, as ever, right the way through the field in the Ginetta GT5 Challenge. And it's not just battles at the head of the field for the G40s, you've got the G20s all arguing as well lower down. Ryan Ratcliffe in 33, keeping Sean Hyton at bay. Hyton, winner of every race at Alton Park, has certainly found life a whole lot tougher at Rockingham. Goes to the inside line, diving into the Tarzan hairpin. Does he gain the place? Yes, he does. The ex-kart racer comes from a fair way back, gets past the ex-Ginetta Junior start, and Sean Hyton gains a place as they come along school straight, and 2 people indeed have got turned around. The Owen Tools car is that of Diego Guggiari, and it looks like the Leeds builder JJ O'Malley is there in the yellow one. Where's Guggiari off to? Oh, into the gravel. If that's inspired, he'll stop there probably. Why you drive straight on into the gravel bed, don't ask, but that's what he's done, and that puts Guggiari out of the race. There's the replay of Lee Mole being turned around on the way towards turn 1. Thankfully, the car comes back round and is able to carry on without A, losing much ground, and B, getting any damage. That's how Brian Murphy saw it going into the first corner, and this is how Murphy saw things at the Tarzan hairpin. O'Malley loses it, Guggiari gets sideways, hits him, spins, and then Guggiari just drives straight across the road into the gravel. Mike Robinson it is who leads the way. Sean Hyton is second. Third is Clive Richards, and the gap's negligible between the 3 of them now. You're on board with Richards. He's trying to attack, he's trying to defend at the same time, but Sean Hyton, wanting a win out of this weekend, is right on the tail of Mike Robinson. Mike had his first victory of the season, in fact his first ever G40 win, because the one he took last year he was then penalised from because he exceeded the track limit, so that didn't stack up, but he won at Rockingham earlier on in the day and he wants another one. There's Brian Murphy, looking very strong around here in the G20 class, but he's got tough opposition here. Matt Flowers right up behind him. Brian Murphy has gone really well around Rockingham this weekend, and he's sticking his elbows out to make sure that Flowers, front runner at Alton Park, don't forget, can't find a way past him. Significantly as well, they're ahead of a few of the G40s. Andy O'Brien, one of those drivers up from the back of the grid, trying to gain places in the race. Ben Constanduras likewise, but O'Brien has got a problem. It looks like he's limping to one side as the cars came out of the hairpin there. Now, Sean Hyton is under huge pressure. Clive Richards is right up behind him. There's Ryan Ratcliffe next in the queue as the cars work their way up towards turn 4. On board with Richards, hard at work, attacking and defending at the same time. The Collard's Motorsport run car up against the wall as he comes out of turn 4, using all of the available width of the track. Through turn 1, he needs now to get in the slipstream, get dragged along by Sean Hyton's car, and then attack on the inside, heading down towards the Dean hairpin. Is the slipstream working for him? Just about. But look at Ryan Ratcliffe. He benefits more than Richards does. He's on the inside line. He's going to pick up the place. Through he goes. Looking back from Ratcliffe's car, the tree surgeon Clive Richards loses out, and they're all being caught again now. Look by Gary Sims, who's in this mix. Down towards Yentwood, bit of contact there. Sims gets squeezed up onto the curb. Richards gets a whack and gets sideways, and getting past them is Thiago Calvo. Once again, Gary Sims tries to gain a place, actually comes off worse. His teammates nip past him as Matt Flowers now tries to go through on the inside of Brian Murphy. Great battle this in the G20 class. The car's less technical than the G40s. They always give good racing. And now Murphy in the red car on the inside, Flowers on the outside. He can't get through there, but he switches sides and Murphy runs out of road. Off he goes and Flowers picks up the place. JJ O'Malley now round the outside of Matt Flowers. The quicker G40 making its way through the pack as you look back from Ryan Ratcliffe's car. Behind him there is Clive Richards. Over the line goes Ratcliffe, grabs a gear, sets the car up for turn one, swoops through that fast left-hander. And if he's in the slipstream of a car ahead, he's going to be dragged along here. Much extra speed gained, and then he can dive to the inside at the hairpin. Let's see. He's not quite near enough. He's caught up to Sean Heighton, but Heighton goes a bit deep into the corner, and up the inside goes Calvert, and that was never on. Smashes into the side of Ratcliffe, turns around Ratcliffe's car, breaks his own front right suspension, and Thiago Calvert is out of the race. From a long way back, he made an impossible dive, and that was always going to end in tears because cars ahead had got to turn into the corner. Thiago Calvert out by the side of the road. Here's the replay. He comes from behind Clive Richards, lunges up the inside, locks up, bang, harpoons Ryan Ratcliffe, turns him around, and that puts Thiago Calvert out of the race on the spot. And Clive Richards saw it thus. Look left. There goes Calvert, wait for the bang. It's a heavy impact. Ryan Ratcliffe's car gets spun round. Thiago Calvert is going no further, and Clive Richards thinks, what was all that about then? He's been delayed a bit. Gary Sims attacks on the inside, and Sims locks up and scrabbles wide this time. One out and one back for Gary Sims, briefly ahead of Clive Richards, but he slots back in behind him, coming out of the corner. Now he tries on the outside, going up towards Yentwood, tries one side, then the other. Clive Richards, after many years of racing, lots of them in Caterhams, knows how to defend, but Gary Sims has cracked them up this time, and he goes through. Nips up a place on the inside then. So now the car's working their way through this left-right sequence, up towards the top of the lap, and Gary Sims, having gained that place off Clive Richards, just starting to edge away. Not quite nose to tail, but you discount Clive Richards coming back at Gary Sims at your peril. Clive, multiple Caterham champion. He's never had quite the same level of success in Ginetta's, but he has been a race winner, and there he is, closing on Gary Sims once again as they go through Gracelands. Down now towards the Tarzan hairpin. Clive not close enough to make a move there, but Mike Robinson has got away from everybody. He's on target now for win number 2 of the weekend. This is going to set him up nicely in the championship. Sean Heighton is there in second place, but Mike Robinson turns his way now out of turn 4, up towards the timing line, and it's going to be win number 2 of the weekend and of the season. Victory at Rockingham goes to Mike Robinson now. He comes across the line to take the checkered flag. Sean Heighton's going to be second. Clive Richards will just hang on to third place, all being well. Luke Davenport ahead of Graham Johnson, ahead of Brad Bailey. They make their way up towards the line now, and as they turn their way up past the pits, Luke Davenport comes through just to be 6th. Graham Johnson is 7th. Matt Flowers heading the class in the G20s. He's got Brian Murphy behind him. Johnny Greenwood is 3rd, and Brian Murphy almost drops the lot. 2 corners from home. That, I'm afraid, is the last chance he's going to have of getting up and past Matt Flowers, because as he recovers, you can see the way the gap widens markedly. And so Matt Flowers comes through out of turn 4 now, up towards the checkered flag, and it's going to be a victory for Matt, who really is the benchmark driver at the moment in the G20s. Bags of experience. It's a shame there's not even greater opposition, because the car's not as numerous as once they were, but it's a win nonetheless. Matt Flowers comes home victorious within the G20 battle, but Mike Robinson takes a 2nd win of the weekend in the G40s, this time from Sean Heighton.